A spectacular sight as we approach our broadcast location in downtown Orlando through the air. We welcome you to Noche NBA here on 2K Sports. From the attire to the food, the players' jerseys, tonight a celebration of the Latin culture. We'll watch the Orlando Magic in this one as they go up against the Charlotte Hornets. Hi everyone, this is Kevin Harlan, and joining us tonight, Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke. And reporting from the sidelines, our very own David Aldridge. And now a chance to take a look at some numbers for Ross.
And a promising trend this month is the rise in his effective field goal percentage. He's showing a lot of smarts. Shot selection has been tremendous, and it's helped his numbers a ton.
And let's go straight over to David Aldridge for a report before the tip-off. Hey, Dave.
Well, Aaron Gordon is progressing as a shooter. He said, what I've done is connected my three, my pull-up, and my free throw. They're all the same shot now. I'm going to keep trusting my skill, and eventually it'll all come together. With my motor, I feel like whatever I'm doing out there, I can just keep going and going. Kevin?
Tremendous athleticism. Thanks, D.A. Both these teams, Doris, relying tonight on the execution in their half-court game.
A little bit of a throwback, sort of an old-fashioned approach tonight. Don't worry, we're going to have plenty of highlights. It is the NBA. We know there are great players on both sides of the ball, but how about this ability to execute under duress of a 24-second shot clock? It's going to be really interesting to watch.
So let's take a look at the Charlotte starting lineup. Bridges out there with Washington. And there's Bismack Biyombo. Then there's Terry Rozier. And it's Graham in at the two-guard spot. And for the Magic, at the 4 and the 5, we have Gordon and Vucevic. Fultz is out there with Evan Fournier. And it's Ennis in at the 3 spot. Now here's Fultz. Ennis taking his time here. Fournier gets a wide-open look. They grab their own miss. Gordon goes up and lays it nice and easy.
Well, at 6'9", great athlete, Aaron Gordon can be a problem on the glass.
Here's Graham. He's guarded by Fournier. Graham with the ball. Passes it to Washington. Just 4 to shoot. Orlando grabs the miss. Last time they met was in Charlotte, where they beat the Hornets.
Mental toughness on the road. The arena was rocking, but they just got down to business and never let up.
I thought what really stood out was how dominant they were on the offensive end. That was about as flawless as you could hope for.
And Vucevic with the basket on the assist by Gordon.
Boy, don't you love to see Aaron Gordon make these kinds of decisions. This guy is fully capable of recognizing open teammates.
Here's Graham. His last outing, we saw him pour in 22. Now, here's Rozier. He's covered closely. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
To me, Greg, that's a complete lack of communication on that side of the ball. These guys need to be talking to each other.
Now, here's Vucevic. 17 points for him last game against Chicago.
And he also made his presence felt on the defensive side as well. 3 block shots were registered in that game.
Here's Rozier after the made shot from Nikola Vucevic. And it's Biyombo with the jam.
We call that persistence, folks. Bismack Biyombo is a force on the offensive glass.
And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. A fast break now for Charlotte. Bridges leading the charge.
And it almost feels like 2 buckets coming off the steal like it did.
Now here's Fultz. Defense right on him. Comes up empty down low.
Boy, that's one he wishes he could have back, especially against soft defense.
1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game.
An under-control player in close. Even when Bridges is under pressure, he just stays committed to his move.
Now here's Fultz. 14 points from him the last game against Chicago.
And he passed the ball so well in that game, keeping everybody involved, even as he was racking up all those points.
Offensive rebound. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
7'6", 260 pounds. Vucevic, a skilled basketball player. He is tough to guard.
7 feet, 260 pounds. Vucevic has a big, strong body with great footwork inside doors, but he doesn't shoot a lot of free throws.
He doesn't, Kevin, and he can struggle at times to finish through contact. If he were a better leaper, I think he'd get to the line more. This guy is just so smart and elusive with his footwork. So this is a big-time player now. Make no mistake.
And that one misses.
Well, they say the post-up big man is dead and gone in the NBA, but don't tell that to Nikola Vucevic. An offensive focal point, and he does some of his best work on that low block.
He hits the second from the line. And you look at the footwork of Vucevic inside, his moves and counter moves, terrific.
Shades of Kevin McHale. And that's something he's continued to develop in the pros, a response to defenders who often surpass him athletically. You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Got to fight over it as a defender.
And, Greg, you know exactly what that takes. It takes energy, it takes activity, it takes intensity.
Now, here's Fournier. No points in the game yet for him. Inside. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Well, at 6'7", Fournier shows some hops, the impressive vertical to finish that dunk.
Now, Biyombo. 11 points for him in that last game against Cleveland.
And the other thing, guys, he really got after it on the backboards. What a complete game for this guy.
Now here's Ennis. They trail by 1. It's Fournier on the wing. Here's Fultz. He averages more than 12 points a game. That's some dependable production. And that one, good.
And I just love when Fultz goes with that floater, showing a desire to add to his arsenal offensively.
Here's Rozier. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against Cleveland. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. Washington's got his second bucket of the night.
Hard work and soft hands, guys. That's what made that play possible.
No simple offensive rebound there. Going for the tip-in.
Well, this was one of Fournier's go-to shots. Such a strong sense from when to fire from that distance.
Rozier against Gordon, and it's Rozier missing.
Boy, the wheels have definitely fallen off in this quarter. He cannot buy one.
Here's Fultz. It's Biyombo with the rebound.
I think this is a spot he has got to become more consistent from if you want to command the defender's respect.
Here's Graham. He's guarded by Fournier. They get it back. Count that one.
Just focusing on the task at hand. That's all you can do.
Boy, the tide is running one way and then shifts back in the other direction. I've lost count of how many lead changes we've had here tonight.
Orlando with the ball. Following the bucket by the Hornets. Biyombo with the block.
Well, Biyombo's calling card, right? A terrific shot blocker. Boy, put it in his vicinity. He's sending it back.
Rozier with the ball. Now guarded by Fultz. Oh, and he blocks it off the glass. Wow. It's Fournier on the wing. Graham defending. And here's Fultz.
as probably the smartest single basketball player he has ever been around. And that's about the numbers in terms of his scoring, obviously not eye-popping, but his incredible defense and then his elite passing skills have been so critical to so many championship teams.
And the first one at the line is good.
You know, there's an unpredictability about what Evan Fournier does that keeps defenders guessing. This guy is outstanding at using that to his advantage.
Here's what Orlando's going with right now. Ross is checked in for Ennis, and it's Carter Williams in for Fultz. And a switch here also for Charlotte. Zeller is checked in for Washington. And so Fournier nails both of them. Charlotte trailing. Now, here's Rozier. As you can see from his numbers, he's been a key component in their offense. He's averaging almost 18 points a game. Here's Fournier. It's not going to go for him. And Charlotte will go the other way with it. To the paint, deflects the pass. Zeller, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. That one on Vucevic.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force them to the line.
The Hornets shooting their first free throws. First trip to the line in this one. And that one falls for Zeller.
And the Magic, one of those franchises that's still looking for its first title.
And Greg, they've been to the NBA Finals twice, but boy, did they run up against two of the all-time great individual closers in history. 1995, Hakeem Olajuwon says no to the Magic. 2009, the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant says, no, sir, I'm getting another championship. Well, a little shaky from the line, and instead of putting them in front, he's only able to tie it up.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. Two shots coming up.
And this is where Terrence Ross turns himself into a weapon, drawing these fouls, getting to the free throw line. He is such an excellent free throw shooter.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
And he is a cool customer at the line, guys. You've got to be when you're shooting 84% on the season.
That free throw good from Ross. And both free throws good for Ross.
Probably as close to a sure thing as you can have at the free throw line.
Graham surveying the floor. Outside, Martin. Out to the wing. Shot clock at 5. From deep. And there's the call on Cody Zeller. That is his first foul of the game. Orlando leading. Carter Williams with it. And looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. Now the pass to Ross. The Hornets pull it in.
You will have to finish harder than that if you want to convert in traffic.
Martin kicks to Graham. Outside, Martin. Pass to Zeller. Just 5 on the clock. The Hornets need to get a shot off here. Three-pointer, Martin, and Bamba pulls it down.
Didn't hesitate for a second to get a hand up on that deep ball.
Well, tremendous effort, tremendous timing, the ability to alter shots on the perimeter. That was beautiful.
Now here's Ross. He's certainly been a consistent piece of their offense, averaging about 14.5 points a game. Pulls it from 20. Unable to get that one. So Orlando will take it the other way. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Chicago.
Man, that game goes down to the wire. Both teams exhausted, but only one has something left for the encore.
You know, that one's a tough one to take. You force the extra session, and then you have the heartbreak of not being able to get it done in the extra session. Brutal.
And he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
Yeah, great anticipation of where the open man was going to be, and Terrence Ross finds him immediately. That's really pretty.
Graham, the pass to Martin. Now, here's Bridges. Trying to end the drought. Birch grabs the board. Magic leading by 4. Awundu kicks to Carter Williams. Got a piece of it.
He has the length to send shots back. I like seeing Bridges make his presence felt on this end.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. But you can't help but notice that teams are shooting earlier in the shot clock. One theory being the faster you shoot, the more possessions you get. Well, the numbers would speak to that.
No doubt, Kevin. And the reality is, for announcers and for fans, that breakneck pace makes it more exciting for us. One NBA coach told me this past year that your field goal percentage in the first 10 seconds of the shot clock gives you your best opportunity to make it. And the longer that shot clock goes on, the more your field goal percentage dips. So, hey, good for us, good for the fans, good for the teams.
And that's because the defense has a chance to settle, correct?
Exactly right.
Good on the second free throw. And so it's Carter Williams. He'll bring up the ball for the Orlando Magic. 3-point lead. Banked in off the glass.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Over to the left wing. Zeller against Bamba. Bridges dishes to Martin. Lets it go from 11. Pass to Graham. Here's Martin. Passes it to Bridges. From deep three-point range, and it's Orlando with the rebound. Bamba's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Ross passes to Awundu. Zeller grabs the board. Zeller's got 4 rebounds in this game. Ross grabs the board.
Let's give some credit to the defense for how they're guarding this guy right now, because they're refusing to let him get comfortable.
The pass to Awundu. 1:04 left to play in the first quarter. Carter Williams from outside off the mark. Hornets trail by 5. Outside, Martin. Kicks it to Graham. Pass to Bridges. All sorts of time, and the basket is good. Bridges has got 6.
Just so precise off the pass. I like how Bridges prepares himself to shoot as the ball is coming his way.
Now here's Carter Williams. Pass to Ross. Lets it go from the wing. And a great assist by Carter Williams as that one goes in. And the Magic lead by 5.
When the mid-range is working for Terrence Ross, he's going to create problems. It's just a matter of can he do it consistently, Kev.
Graham, the pass to Bridges. 13 feet away. And it's off the back rim. No good. And we reach the end of the first quarter. Magic lead by 5. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break. Welcome back to Noche Latina, celebrating the Latin culture and their love for the game of basketball. It just keeps growing. And guys, for the Magic, what jumps out to you so far, numbers-wise?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
I think across the board, a number of guys who've done a great job guarding multiple positions.
Hornets trail by 5. Setting the floor for the Hornets, we've got Bridges. He's out there with Zeller. Martin is out there with Martin, and it's Graham in at the point. Now, here's Bridges. Zeller trying to free himself up. A second chance effort. Bamba with the block.
I'll tell you, the kind of lockdown defender Mo Bamba can be. Send it back, young man.
Ross, that's good. Ross has got the lead up to 7 now for Orlando.
I mean, he makes plays like that in his sleep. The game is just far too easy. Well, you talk about physical gifts for the game. Mo Bamba, a 7-footer with the longest wingspan, 7'9.5", and that gives him a huge sphere of influence.
Here is Augustine. After the basket by Charlotte. Quarter number 2 with just over a minute gone. Here's Birch. A fresh 14 for Orlando. Here's Bamba. And he dunks it down.
That's what he gives you, a big-time presence on the glass.
And you know what, Greg? Once he gets his hands on it, he's not even thinking about kicking it out.
No reason to do so there. He was going to leave, no doubt.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Charlotte's had to wait a bit the last few years. Now, the city hosted the All-Star game last season. But for the Hornets, they've gone 3 seasons without a playoff appearance and 15 seasons without winning a playoff series. In that time, the franchise has had 7 head coaches and a shifting front office. But Buzz City is hoping that its wait for playoff relevance will end soon. Kevin?
We all are. David, thank you. Now, here is Martin. He's averaging a bit over 5 points a game. Passes to Zeller. 4 on the clock. Offensive rebound. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Zeller's got 6.
The tenacity on the interior, just battling, bringing that effort and will for second chance points.
Here's Bamba. Zeller grabs the board. Zeller's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. And Graham throws it down hard.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball. Now here's Carter Williams. 3-pointer Augustine. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
DJ Augustine has turned himself into a feared 3-point threat. Beautiful.
Graham kicks to Martin. From 10 feet out. Another shot. That's good, and the Orlando lead is cut down to just 4 points in the bucket from Cody Zeller.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
And now the first timeout called here for the Magic. Inching our way toward the end of the season here in the NBA, Doris, and just how much fatigue after all these games and all these months and practices and travel. How much fatigue are these players feeling, you think, right now?
Well, I think NBA players like to tell us, come March, come April, everybody has bumps and bruises. No one is 100%. What you're hoping to do as an NBA organization is manage the rest that you can possibly give to your guys down the stretch of the season. Because the healthier you are going into the postseason, the better off you're going to be.
Going with an almost entirely new group here. Vucevic checked in for Bamba. Aaron Gordon comes in for Cam Birch. Fournier is checked in for Terrence Ross. And it's Fultz in for Michael Carter-Williams. Augustine finds Vucevic. Rozier against Augustine. Fournier for three. But they get it back. Vucevic. It's rebounded by Charlotte. Zeller's got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big time effort. Tipped away. And out of bounds as the Hornets gain possession. As we get a break in the action now, let's take a look at the East and how the teams are stacking up. Take a look at the Magic. They're holding the edge for the last playoff slot. I am sure they'd feel better if they could jump up a couple rankings. And, of course, Charlotte, just a few spots below there.
Man, and looking at the Magic, they're one of those teams that hasn't quite figured it out this year. A lot of talent, a lot of heart, but nothing to put them up on that next level.
You know, it's got to be frustrating for them, Greg. You can't dwell on the past. You've got to think forward, work together, and play for one another.
And it's Rozier missing. Magic leading by 4. Here's Fultz. Another miss by Orlando.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you can see the frustration on his face.
Down low and stolen by Gordon. Augustine with it, and Zeller picks him up defensively. Now Augustine, he gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. Clock at 6. There's Gordon with the 3. Good on the triple. Gordon's got the lead up to 7 now for the Magic.
I'll tell you, if you're not guarding Aaron Gordon tight and getting into his space, he is going to burn you in catch-and-shoot situations.
Martin, the pass to Rozier. Makes it off the glass.
Outstanding pass, on time and on target.
Here's Augustine. And there's the call on Cody Zeller. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Well, that's 2 fouls on him early. He'll have to be careful not to pick up another one.
Biyombo is checked in for Zeller. Fournier for 3. And again, it's the Magic from deep.
The defense a step slow. You can see the result.
This game for the Charlotte Hornets, it was a loss to Cleveland.
Well, they made a few key shots, but missed many more. It was a rough night for them offensively.
You know what, Greg? There was a lot of standing around in that basketball game. Failing to move bodies and failing to move the basketball is a bad formula.
Now here is Augustine. They lead by 8. That's the biggest of the game. That's in, and that's his 4th basket of the night. He's taken 7 shots, a solid 57%.
He has created some terrific opportunities for himself and really made the most of it.
Augustine against Rozier. He kicks to Martin. He dishes it to Martin. 6 on the shot clock. Rozier looking around. That shot is off. And it's the Magic taking it the other way.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole because he is just not there offensively. The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Now here is Martin. They need this. That shot, no good. Great D that time from Vucevic. Augustine finds Fournier. Count the basket. Fournier's got 9 points now in the quarter.
Well, a good first quarter leads to a dynamite second period.
Rozier against Gordon. Good on that shot. And with that, the Magic lead is cut down to 12 on the bucket from Washington.
To me, this is where Terry Rozier can absolutely punish you. With the shot or on the pass and pick and roll, he's a problem.
Now here's Gordon. 5 points in the game. And Fultz gets it to go.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Hornets trail by 14. And now the first timeout called here for the Hornets. Doris, such an honor to be on this with you, and you were the first female to become a full-time NBA analyst, breaking new ground. You've accomplished so much in your life, personally, professionally. What would you tell young women who are graduating college, looking to get ahead in their career in what you've chosen?
Well, first and foremost, I've been very lucky, Kevin. The game of basketball has been a part of my life since I was 7. It's been a driving force. I love it. I would just tell young women, times are changing. Dream big. There's nothing that's impossible. And I'm so thankful to the NBA players and coaches who have just wrapped their arms around me from the time I entered this business. So kudos to those players who are part of the change, no question.
And hard work. I have seen you work. I have seen you prepare. No one prepares more. No one works harder.
Thanks, Kev.
Making a change here. Owundu's checked in.
And with a moment, let's check out the stats for Vucevic. What a run he's been on over the past few weeks. He's averaging 20 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 assists. And he does the heavy lifting on the glass, throwing himself into the rebounding battle with just complete effort.
Well, you get the feeling he believes every rebound should be his, and most of them are. This guy is putting up tremendous numbers.
And it's the Magic with the ball. After the basket by Charlotte. Fades and shoots. A rebound by Washington.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
And yes, it's good.
Well, there's a physicality that you can deal with. Determined to finish. That's nice.
Fultz looking around. Out left to the wing. Good ball movement here by the Magic. Martin against Fournier. Takes the 13-footer. Again, the Magic score.
What an aggressive mindset in this period. He's starting to take over.
And the pass to Washington. And here is Rozier. Puts it up from 12. Rebound by the Magic. Vucevic has got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Here's Owundu. And they call the foul, so he's got the and-one chance here to make it a three-point play.
Just no resistance inside at all. They are feasting. This is a straight buffet.
It is. It's a big one. And load the plate. And the Hornets making a change here. Graham's checked in. And so Graham will bring it up for the Charlotte Hornets. 15-point game. Following this game, they hit the road. They'll take on the Knicks in New York. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. Now, here's Rozier. Just 5 to shoot. Martin for 3. And Vucevic pulls it down. Vucevic has got 11 rebounds in the game. Owundu passes to Fultz. To the right side. Pass to Gordon. Kicks to Fultz. The offensive rebound. Vucevic misses from short range.
Boy, if you're going up against this guy in this close a range, you've got to defend with everything you've got. A tremendous job defensively.
Magic leading by 13. 1:46 left to play here in the half. The shot's good. 7 points for Aaron Gordon.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
Graham with the ball. He's guarded by Fournier. Graham with the bucket. Graham's got 6 here in this quarter.
I'll tell you, he's playing with much more discipline here in the second quarter. He is waiting for good opportunities and capitalizing.
And finished off by Fultz.
Well, this has to contribute to Markelle Fultz's confidence, showing right there he can get through the defense.
Graham with the ball. 8 points for him. Pass to Washington. Shoots over Fournier. And it's Washington missing.
Listen, that's a shot he can make, but obviously the defense okay letting him shoot it.
And there's a whistle. That goes on Terry Rozier. That is his first foul of the game. Bamba is checked in for the Magic. Carter Williams comes in for Fultz. Bridges, he's checked in for Charlotte. Bamba kicks to a 1-2. Back to Bamba. Up and in, it's good. First basket of the game for him. 1 for 4 shooting.
I'll tell you, the next step for Mo Bamba will be more muscle, but he finishes through contact right there.
Here's Rozier. And it's Orlando with the rebound.
And he has definitely been struggling in this quarter.
And you know what? They keep calling his number, and they're simply trying to get him out of this funk.
2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. 6 to shoot. The Magic need to get a shot off here. For 3, Fournier. That one doesn't go. And so it's Orlando. Feeling good about their 17-point lead heading into the break. Their defense has been active and effective. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Alongside Aaron Gordon. Aaron, you guys came out and played extremely well. What was the mindset in the first half?
We just tried to come out here, really stick to our principles, pick up the pace, and really be aggressive, and it turned out in a high-scoring half.
Just the way you want to play. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back. It is bedlam here. The hometown crowd loving that first half. I'm Ernie Johnson along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. It was a closely contested first quarter for Orlando. They never trailed by more than 3 points, and it was neck and neck the entire period. They just exploded in the second quarter, grabbing the momentum and running with it. Basket after basket, and they played stingy defense. Now they've got a halftime lead that's going to be very difficult to erase. What did you think, Kenny, about what we saw from the Magic?
Well, the bench came in and helped them run away with this one. Tremendous job of getting loose, getting open, and drilling shots. You always want that spark off the bench, and these guys delivered.
And Big Fella, your thoughts on the Hornets?
They were brick city, and it was painful to watch. Weak shooting starts to get contagious, and they were struggling all over the place. They got to work on getting more high-quality chances, more layups, fewer prayers.
And that's all we have for now. Tell the folks goodbye, Shaq. Tell the folks goodbye,
Goodbye.
Kenny. Goodbye. Let's go to Kevin Harlan.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Nice game. Great performance by Evan Fournier.
Man, he's been running wild on him through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
Boy, he has been shouldering the load. Aggressive, skilled.
And it's the Hornets with the ball, trailing by 17. At the 4 and the 5, we have Gordon and Vucevic. Fournier out there with Markelle Fultz. And it's Ennis in at the 3, the small forward. That's who's out there for Orlando. And it's good, 2 points.
Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Well, there is nothing better than catching a rhythm as early as possible. And boy, that's a terrific start right there.
Here's Vucevic following the bucket by the Hornets. Now, here's Bridges. The dish to Graham. From 13, here's Biyombo. And a good offensive board. And he gets the bucket. Biyombo's his third bucket of the night.
This guy is very solid close to the rim. Biyombo knows when to be assertive on the interior.
Now here's Ennis. He's guarded closely. Five on the clock. Pass to Vucevic. A rebound by Washington. Hornets trail by 13. Count it, number 5 from the floor this game. He's now 5 of 11.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Fultz, the pass to Vucevic. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
This guy's so polished inside. Nikola Vucevic, great at being assertive and earning these fouls.
These are his third and fourth free throw attempts of the game. Free throw drops for Vucevic. So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe.
What you love about Nikola Vucevic is every night you know he's going to play hard and he's going to do whatever it takes to win. You love playing with teammates like that, guys.
And
Absolutely.
You can have desperation, the other side losing focus.
And it's never easy trying to stop Fultz. When he's driving to the rim, he just kind of bullies his way through the defense.
Now, here's Rozier. Pulls up. They get the rebound. Washington. And it's in. Basket number 6 for him thus far. He has only missed 2 shots from the floor.
they're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Here's Fournier, and stolen by Biyombo. Graham with the ball, now guarded by Ennis. Bridges shot, good.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. Outside Fournier. Got a piece of it. Now here's Fultz. Rozier defending. Fournier trying to break loose. And the shot goes in from Fultz. Fultz has got 10.
One of the keys as a perimeter player is always stay focused through contact. Markelle Fultz makes that shot despite the physical contact.
Here's Graham. He's got 10. Goes back up. Great D that time from Vucevic.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
We call that a great contest. You know this is something he brings to the table, the ability to anchor your defense.
Now in his 6th season in the NBA, hard to believe Aaron Gordon is still just 24 years of age.
Not much older than some rookies coming in. You wonder what his ceiling will be.
That free throw good from Gordon.
And one of the more transcendent athletes in the game. Aaron Gordon still has some untapped potential. He could make a big leap.
Terrence Ross is checked in for Evan Fournier. And Gordon drops them both. And Greg, we've seen Gordon playing in a slower pace system. He was asked to play at the small forward.
Not ideal, Kevin. He's better off as a small ball power forward, getting out in the lane and using those springs to rise over the D.
here's Rozier. It's hauled in by Gordon. Gordon's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. To the inside. And Vucevic throws it down.
Well, Markelle Fultz continues to develop his floor awareness. Passes like that will create all kinds of chemistry.
Now Rozier. In the corner, it's Bridges. Orlando grabs the miss. Gordon's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Ross kicks to Fultz. Back to Ross. And there's the pass to Vucevic. And too much time in the lane. They get called for the 3-second violation for the Magic. Kem Birch comes in for Aaron Gordon. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Fultz. And a switcher also for Charlotte. Martin's checked in for Rozier. Here's Graham. He's got 10. To the middle. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation. And here is a group of young guys that know how to play some tough D in the paint. Here are the leading rookie shot blockers in the second half of the season. Magic leading by 14. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Well, for Nick Vucevic, there were some great firsts last season. His son, Philip, was born in December. And then Dad made his first All-Star appearance. Nick is from a basketball family. He said, "I'll enjoy telling my son the stories, like my dad did with me. We'll see if he likes the game of basketball. I think he will." Evan?
Well, DA, it's certainly in his genes. Thanks for that report.
Well, that's not the guy you want guarding him at the rim. Just too much of a differential in terms of size.
Pass to Birch. Down low. Vucevic gets double-teamed. Ennis kicks to Ross. It's good. The assist that time from Ennis. 11 points for Terrence Ross.
Yeah, Terrence Ross in his comfort zone from distance. This guy has always had the eye of a sharpshooter.
Here's Graham. No good on that one. And Orlando will come the other way.
I cannot get started. And the offense overall has been a struggle because of it.
Augustine against Martin. Augustine passes to Birch. The putback. It's good on the putback.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Graham dishes to Bridges. Ball's knocked loose. It's stolen by Vucevic. Now here is Augustine. Not a lot of room. Up and in on the layup. Augustine's got 5.
That's the quickness of DJ Augustine. Put it on the deck, get to the driving game. Really nicely done.
And here is Graham. 10 points for him. Misses from close range.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And boy, to have someone back there who can erase your mistakes. What a big-time asset defensively.
Here's Birch. A 21-point lead, the biggest in the game. Here's Vucevic. Knocked loose. Out of bounds. Magic ball as Orlando keeps possession. Here's a look at the schedule for the Orlando Magic. On Tuesday, they'll be playing against Blake Griffin and the Detroit Pistons. And then on Thursday, they'll be matching up with Andre Drummond and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
And just looking ahead to what's on tap, there are a lot of winnable games for them, but you can't go into the stretch with that mentality. You've got to focus on what's in front of you and bring it every night.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. And some changes here for the Hornets. Zeller, who's checked in for Bismack Kamba. And it's Rozier in for Martin. Here's Ross. Coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And the foul called on the Charlotte Hornets. On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe. Terrence Ross. First free throw is good. That one is no good. The Hornets have gone 7 of 15 from the field here in the third quarter. Rozier the pass to Washington. Bamba with the block. Carter Williams against Rozier. Carter Williams with the bucket. Carter Williams has got his second basket.
Yeah, they're rolling right now. That lead continues to grow.
And one of the things that's helped that is they're getting it done on both ends. Terrific focus on offense, and they're locked in defensively.
Bridges. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Bridges has got 4 points this quarter.
Not only a jump shooter, Bridges also dependable at knowing how to get it done inside.
Rozier against Carter Williams. From deep, nailed from three-point land. Carter Williams has got 7 points in the game.
Well, overall, they're the team getting the better looks here in this second half.
And I think what's happening is they're getting their shots within the flow of their offense, and you can clearly see the difference.
And it's the Magic with the ball, following the bucket by the Hornets. Pass to Bamba. Here's a 1-2. Carter Williams with it. 7 points in the game. From deep three-point range, it doesn't go for him.
And if he thinks that's within his range, then you know what? He's got a low basketball IQ.
I'm a little surprised he would even attempt that shot. Much better to swing the ball to somebody else.
Jumps up, and there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. 7-footers typically challenged as far as mobility. But, Doris, you look at Mo Bamba, he appears to be very fluid.
Well, he's listed at 7 feet. He's actually 7'1" in shoes. And despite that height, Kevin, as you mentioned, Mo Bamba is a very fluid athlete. He's got exceptional feet, tremendous upside for Bamba.
He misses the free throw. Fournier is checked in for Orlando. And a switcher also for Charlotte. Martin's checked in. And the second free throw, good. And so Graham will bring it up for the Charlotte Hornets. Passes it to Rozier. The layup missed.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Second shot opportunity. Vucevic reverses, and the layup is up and in. Vucevic has got 11.
And after really leaning on that three-point shot in the first half, seeming like they're just getting away from it here in the second. More of the shots coming from the interior.
Martin. The shot, no good. Nice D from Fournier. And up the court come the Magic on the break. Ross with a wide-open look. Here's Bamba, and he banks in the layup. Bamba's got his second bucket tonight.
Well, excellent pursuit of the basketball by Mo Bamba. Love his effort there.
Here's Graham, and he hits the jumper. Well, he's been waiting for that for a while. Orlando's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. 1:24 left to play here in the third. Bamba passes to Carter Williams. Teardrop shot. 3 on the clock. Nice shot there by Bamba. 1:06 left to play in the third. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Rozier against Carter Williams. Poked away. Rozier the pass to Zeller. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
And taking a look at some stats here for Rozier, they've gotten some big performances from him since the All-Star break. He's around 18 points per game, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. Well, fans of this team will take this kind of production from him without hesitation.
I'll tell you, he has been a solid contributor. They have called his number, and he has delivered for them.
And that one falls for Zeller. Aaron Gordon, he's checking in for Vucevic. He hits one and misses one, each at the line.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area. Their ability, again, to stretch the floor, particularly in this second half.
And guys, boy, when you're hitting, it sure does work. It obviously opens up major options at the offensive end.
And here is Graham following Evan Fournier's 3. Graham, the pass to Zeller. And here is Rozier. And he lays it straight in. Rozier's got 6 points.
This is what we call highly efficient play. Working off the screen, getting to the cup.
Fournier against Martin. Now here's Fournier from deep. And that one released in time, but no good. And so it's the Orlando Magic in complete command. Their lead at 28 points going into the break. From the field, they have been outstanding. Amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. We come back right after this. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the big fella here showing us he's got some point guard skill here with the tremendous setup.
I'll tell you, in today's game, you want skill and decision-making at every position.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. And Charlotte looking at who they've got. McDaniels is the Bacon. Then there's Batum. Then there's Hernan Gomez. And it's Chile in at the point guard. That one falls. Hornets shooting around 40% from the floor here. Hiring college basketball coaches has been kind of hit or miss, Doris. Why do you think that's so?
Well, obviously, coaching in college and coaching in the NBA are drastically different things. As a college coach, you've got to be concerned about the eligibility of your young men. You've got to be recruiting the next crop, even while you're coaching your current group and your current roster. In the NBA, you get to focus exclusively on coaching. You're not talking about recruiting. You're not having to deal with anything other than grown men who have a desire for greatness in the NBA. And I think so much of it doesn't necessarily mean success or failure, whether you come from college or not. Success in the NBA is a multifaceted proposition. So I don't necessarily define it as, oh, this guy came from college, this guy came from the European leagues, this guy has been an NBA assistant. So many things go into it, Kev.
And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Bamba. And Orlando making a change here. Augustine's checked in. Shot clock at 6. Here's Chile. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Sheely's got his first basket.
Well, we see a lot of emphasis on three-point shooting nowadays, but you'll take that look right there any night of the week.
Floats one. Augustine, that's good.
What a finish from DJ Augustine. At 6 feet or less, you've got to have that floater game in your bag of tricks.
The pass to Hernan Gomez. Here's Sheely by Augustine. Sheely with the bucket. And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. Now Augustine, pass to Carter Williams. Here's Bamba. Good ball movement here by the Magic. 6 to shoot. A floater. Hornets with the rebound.
I'll tell you, everything went right in terms of execution. He just can't get it to go.
Here's Bacon. Frazier covering. They get it again. But they'll get another chance.
And that's a good job of just getting after it on the backboard. Gets them another possession and allows them to run even more clock.
Orlando making some changes. Ken Burge is checked in for Mohamed Bamba. And it's Ennis in for Michael Carter Williams. Batum against Frazier. Fires from 18. Hernan Gomez. Nice persistence to tip it back up and in.
Kev, quick to the punch. Good anticipation by Willie, that time owning the offensive glass.
Now here is Augustine. D right on him. Burge the pass to Clark. Count it. Clark's got his first bucket of the night.
Well, the coach loves this kind of ball movement. Anytime you create something inside the free throw line, you know it's a good look.
Sheely, the pass to Hernan Gomez. Burge grabs the board. Burge has got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
And this is what the coaches want to see more of from Willie, attacking the rim with big-time attitude.
Now here's Ennis to the left wing. And here's Frazier. And the rebound goes to the Hornets. Hernan Gomez has got 6 rebounds in the game. Augustine with the steal. Of course, it seems like Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, is one of the most well-liked commissioners in all of sports worldwide. Why do you think that's so?
Well, I think he was amongst the most important members of the staff of his predecessor, David Stern, who obviously oversaw the greatest growth in NBA history. The NBA became a global game. But Adam Silver didn't skip a beat. He is a great listener, a great communicator, and I've said this about the NBA for a very long time. It is a league that is in constant self-evaluation process. It is always looking for ways to improve the league, whether that means organizationally or with the play between the lines, and that's all you can ask for, Kevin.
Here's Sheely after the Magic pick up 2. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points, so 1 free throw coming up.
Yeah, outstanding job there of taking the harm and still able to finish.
The Magic making a switch here. A 1-deuce checked in.
One shot.
Orlando leading by 23. Pass to Augustine. Here's Clark. Ripped away. And now the fast break. Bridges with the ball. And finished off by Graham.
I love the fact that Bridges does a little bit of everything, including passing the ball.
Augustine with it. Here's Clark. There's the triple. And there's Augustine. That's good on the assist by Clark. Augustine's got 9 points now in just the second half. Now Graham. Passes to Shealy. Three-pointer. It gets rebounded by Ennis. Orlando's gotten a positive outcome on 7 of their 14 three-pointers in this game. Not bad at all. And the call will be against Hernan Gomez. That is his first foul of the game. Remember the time, Doris, when it was rare to see stars changing teams? Now we read about it every day.
No question, Kevin. Think back to my formative years watching the NBA as a fan. Larry Bird was a Boston Celtic. Magic Johnson was a Los Angeles Laker. The trend in today's NBA is that shorter player contracts, more player control over where they want to be. And the reality is this, Kevin, at some point, free agency entered the equation. It's appropriate, it's fair, they've earned the right to choose where they play.
And so it's Charlotte with it. Magic knocking down the tray. Here's Rozier. Here's Biyombo. Great D that time from Vucevic.
And his defense so valuable. Not many can bother that shot at the rim.
Boy, you see the effort, you see the range. This guy prides himself in his ability to shut you down.
Now here's Fultz. 6 on the shot clock. It's in and good for his 6th field goal in 10 attempts.
What I like here, even with the big lead, they continue to execute their offense.
And that, to me, Greg, is a sign of excellent coaching. There's an attention to detail. There is valuing of every possession.
Here's Biyombo. Markelle Fultz making his last shot. Biyombo kicks to Rozier. A floater. It's hauled in by Gordon. Gordon's got his 7th rebound here tonight. Now here's Fultz. The pass to Vucevic. Over Rozier. Now here's Fultz. Rozier defending. And here's Fultz. And poor shot selection there. Not a high percentage look for him. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And it's Graham missing. And it's the Magic's ball. Good momentum, 8 straight points. Here's Ross. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Teams, if they can keep the rights to their best player, we see it in other leagues. Could the franchise tag ever make its way, do you think, to the NBA?
Well, this is going to be a negotiation point between the Players Association and the league itself. And the reality is it's going to have to be negotiated. What we know unequivocally, Kevin, is that these players now in the player empowerment era have more control about what franchise they play for and how long the duration of their contract is. How this all shakes out remains to be seen, but it is a point of conversation amongst the 30 NBA teams and the league leadership. There's no question about it.
Here's what Orlando's going with right now. Clark, he's checked in for Gordon. Frazier comes in for Ennis, and DJ Augustine subbed in for Fultz. And so Shealy will bring it up for the Hornets. Outside, Batum. With a step back. Here's Gomez. Count the bucket. And he's got a free throw coming up as well.
Yeah, and the defense allowing some room here on the inside in the second half, and they're taking advantage. A lot of their points coming from in the paint.
Ken Burge is checked in for Orlando. And that one misses.
Well, we call this, Kevin, high IQ and good instincts for the game. And these things Willie relies on to succeed at this level.
Now here's Ross. Pass to Frazier. And rejection by McDaniel. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. Michael Carter-Williams checked in for Terrence Ross. And for the Hornets, they're shooting a pedestrian 36% in the fourth quarter. The offense not doing their best work of late. Pass to Bacon. Do you have high hopes for the new draft lottery system to keep every team competitive to the very end of the season?
Well, one of the keys in implementing this new draft lottery system was to make sure that the bottom 3 teams were given equal opportunity to get that top draft choice. I think you did see it have some effect on play and teams trying to be competitive while understanding they're still going to have an opportunity to build their team through the draft. But here's the reality. The NBA has got to be under review constantly. There's a process in play. It's one of the most proactive leagues in the country in terms of always looking for little things to make sure their game is the best it can be.
Attention to detail. Well said. Orlando's gone 2 of 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Carter Williams with it. Pass to Birch. And it's McDaniels with the rebound. Charlotte's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Here's Chile. Bacon the pass to Chile. 5 to shoot. Doesn't go for him. And Orlando will come the other way. Now Augustine.
2 minutes, less than 2 minutes remaining in the quarter.
1:57 left in the game. Can't hit from 12.
Listen, he knows he should have made that shot. We'll see if they can work it back to him in that same area.
The Magic shoot here in the fourth quarter, around 41%. Here's Clark. Here's Birch. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Doris, when you look at the success of international players, and the league has a litany of very good international players, Doncic being the latest success story, is the perception changing about these kids when they come from overseas and play in the NBA?
Well, one of the greatest, and then to me, the greatest international player of all time, Dirk Nowitzki, a Hall of Fame player, probably changed the perception to start with. Now, listen, over the years, Luka is going to have perhaps a Hall of Fame career if he stays healthy. The reality is this. The NBA is looking for the best players to man those 15 roster spots of the 30 NBA teams. It doesn't matter where you're from, what the color of your skin is. If you can play the game of basketball and play it at the highest level, the NBA wants you to be a part of their league.
Second free throw, no good. Hornets shooting just 39% from the field, struggling to find that net.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for Orlando.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly just every single match up so well.
And while there was some nice performances tonight, it definitely ended up being a solid outing for Vucevic.
Boy, this guy played with some swagger and intensity on the boards tonight, dominating the physical aspect of the game.
And out of bounds as the Hornets gain possession. .44 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Chile, the pass to Hernan Gomez. Here's Batum. That one, no good. And Orlando will come the other way. Now here's Carter Williams. Here's Birch. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's on Nicholas Batum.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Shooting 2. Khem Birch.
The first free throw is good. So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2. There's 18 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Chile surveying the D. There's the pass to Hernan Gomez. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And when this guy's aggressive offensively, Willie can make things happen. He'll go to the free throw line.
At the line for 2.
Free throw good, Hernan Gomez. He hits both from the stripe. Here's Augustine. And so it's Orlando taking this one by a big margin. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate. All right, David, thank you. And that about wraps